I'm sorry I couldn't make it here 2 weeks ago, but I was angry because the topic was part of my pain. And I had a poem in a book called that, so I figured I should read that one. And that's because I don't have anything, I'm wondering what it was. So I'm like, I'm going to start with this one. And I'll explain what it means when it's done. This is called Part of My Pain. I've been trying so hard to be the most perfect, but I'm putting myself through hell for it. Consider the paint that leaves me scarred. Your insides are smeared around my eyes almost daily, and yeah, you've also been a part of my pain. This pain has now taught me to believe in inflicting pain as much as I apparently believe in receiving it. I like taking a small, sharp blade to you at times, too, since you have to be ready to hurt me more later. So although I'm acutely aware of this pain I go through, don't you think for a second that I can't give out what I already take. Ooh. That was a poem about an eyeliner pencil. I did a whole series of things, like have something about a toaster, or, you know, like you could just come up with things. And that was one about part of my pain. Thank you for that one. I don't think I've ever read that one, so there you go. This was stuff that I read at past features at the Baha'i Center. Hi, you're awesome. I don't know.
He's hosting the next one.
And yes, I'll host the next one, but I'll talk about that later. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a farm road where the square acres of living land just started to bloom, displaying a colorful checkerboard quilt as far as the eye could see. I walked along the empty road next to the crops at 3000 South, and a small little pig walked right up to me. Now, this little pig didn't look like a farm pig. He looked like a 10-inch pot-bellied pig. And he walked right up to me and he said, "Thank you for not using cosmetics tested on animals. I know you humans are pretty smart. You've got to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves pretty without killing me." And I said, "I don't think the companies worry about the animals unless their chemicals are toxic, meaning it's toxic to humans." The little pig then snorted. "Which lives are worth saving?" The little pig then said. "Cutthroat corporations don't answer questions like that," I said. And he said, "I know, but thank you anyway." Yeah, I had a dream the other night. I walked out to the city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths and trash cans every 50 feet and trash every 10. And then a raccoon came right up to me. She had a few little baby raccoons following her. It was so cute. I wish I had my camera. And she spoke to me, and she said, "Thank you. Thank you for not buying furs. I know you humans are pretty smart. You've got to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves warm without killing me." And I said, "You know they don't do it for warmth. They do it for fashion. They do it for power." And she said, "I know, but thank you anyway." And then I walked a little further, and there was a stray cat. She still had a little neon collar on with a little bell. And she walked a few feet, stretched her front paws. Oh, she looked so darling. And then she walked right up to me, and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she just looked at me for a minute. Her little ears were sticking straight up. And she said, "You know, in some countries, I'm considered a delicacy." And I said, how do you know of these things?" And she said, "When somebody eats one of you, word gets around." And then she looked up at me again and she said, "And in some countries, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you humans prepare them for slaughter, how you hang them upside down and slit their throats so their still beating hearts will drain out all the blood for you?" She said, "Isn't it funny how arbitrary your decision to eat meat is?" And I said, "Don't put me in that category. I don't eat meats." And she said, "I know." And then I woke up in a sweat. And now that Britain is leaving the EU, so tell me, Prime Minister David Cameron, so tell me Jeb Bush, so tell me Ted Cuban Canadian Cruz, so tell me Entertainer-in-Chief Donald Trump, so tell me crooked Hillary Clinton, so tell me Barack Hussein Obama. If you woke up from that dream, would you be in a sweat too? You know, my motives aren't selfless. I know that these things are worthwhile in my life. I'd like to find a cure to these man-made diseases before I die of them. I mean, I'm not just a vegetarian because I think it's wrong to kill an animal unless I have to. I also know the excess protein pulls the calcium away from my bones and gives me osteoporosis. And the excess fat gives me heart attacks. And I know that we could be feeding 17 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. You know, I know you're looking at me and calling me an extremist, but I'm sitting here looking around me, looking at all of the death caused by family values, and thinking that those right, moral, non-violent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals, we destroy our plants, we destroy our earth, we're even destroying our air. We wreak havoc on the soil, on the atmosphere. We dump our waste into our lakes, we have aerosol cans and exhaust pipes. And you tell me I'm extreme. And I'm beginning to think that we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop. And deep inside we feel the pain of all that we've killed, and we try to control it by popping a chemical-filled painkiller. We live through the guilt by taking caffeine, nicotine, morphine. We keep ourselves thin with saccharin. We keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning. We'll do anything to ourselves to make us think that we have the power. But in the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do.